Let's move on to grouping. The first question that comes to our mind is why would we need to group columns or rows? Let us take an example. Here we have the statistics of players from different divisions for 4 different sports. Now, if we want to see these statistics in a summarized view, we can group the rows and present it in a condensed format. The utility of grouping can be better understood by taking the example of income statement. We can see that there are multiple items under revenue and expenses. If we want to show this data to the senior management, it would be better to present it in a condensed format. Let us go to the row which we want to group. Select the entire row using Shift plus spacebar. Select the other rows using Shift plus down arrow key. Now we will hold the Shift, Alt and the right arrow key. When we group rows, a bracket appears to the left of the rows, which tells us that they have been grouped. Now, to collapse these rows, I will simply use the shortcut Alt A H. This gives us a summarized view. To expand, I can use the shortcut Alt A J. Using the exact same shortcuts, we can group columns as well. All we need to do is select the column using Ctrl plus spacebar. Then select the other columns using Shift plus the right arrow key. And then hold Shift plus Alt and the right arrow key. The similar bracket appears for columns as well. Now, let us collapse these columns using Alt A H. To expand the columns, we can use the shortcut Alt A J. If I have grouped these columns and if I use the shortcut with the active cell outside these columns, then this will have no impact. Please note, while using the shortcut, the active cell must be within the grouped rows or columns. Now, let's move on to something a little more challenging. Can we add groupings within a group? That is, if I want to group the entire section of revenue and also add subgrouping to revenue from products and revenue from services, then can we do so? Let's check by following the same method. Let's select the rows pertaining only to revenue from products section. And press Shift, Alt and the right arrow key. This created a subgroup, that is a group within a group. We can try this one more time by selecting the rows pertaining to revenue from services section. We can see that there are some numbers appearing on the left side of the screen. These numbers relate to the level of groupings. If I click on 2, this will collapse 2 levels of groupings. And if I press 1, this will collapse all the levels of groupings. Now let us learn how to remove these groupings. It is actually quite simple. All we need to do is select the row or column which has the groupings and press Shift, Alt and the left arrow key. Let us try this one more time, this time for rows. Select the rows and press Shift, Alt and the left arrow key. In this balance sheet, it would be great if assets are grouped and current and non-current sections are subgrouped. Similarly, liabilities grouped and current and non-current sections are subgrouped. I have attached this sample financial statement worksheet for exercise. Add groupings for the assets and liabilities in the rows. This concludes our lesson on groupings.